As always, I'm very happy to be here with Rick Davison and Vanessa, who are my MMA coaches in SBG Portland. And today we're going to break down and look at some of the fighting scenes of Warrior, a movie made in 2011 starring badass Tom Hardy.
So, Tom Hardy.
Vanessa, you've seen it.
I have, but I
seen
couldn't even remember. I don't really remember.
There's him and his brother. And Tom Hardy plays a badass, super talented fighter. So you'll see that image of him, like how he does that. But just to give a heads up, he's like a beast in this movie.
Yes, okay.
So this is, I'm not sure if this is the first fight or the second fight, but that's the beginning of the fight. And also too, one of the ideas is for you guys to tell how realistic the fight is.
Oh.
So that's the end of the first fight.
Oh, Rumble Johnson.
Rumble Johnson.
Is he a fighter?
He's actually a real fighter. Anthony Rumble. He's really good too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd say realistic. I mean, he ducked under that hook,
Right.
came back up and hit. So far, real.
Okay.
Real.
So that could happen, like 5 seconds in, first hit, knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, especially if you're Tom Hardy.
Yes.
Now it's his brother who's like the underdog. He's in the same competition. This is like the competition. This is like,
right.
I think this is like a kind of a reliving of the first UFC, kind of all the baddest fighters are all put together and who's the best.
Who gets to the top.
Right, and the brother gets here almost by mistake. He's the underdog. He's not supposed to be here, but he's doing his best. So that's kind of his image. The opposite of Hardy. That's the brother. Ouch.
Yeah.
That move?
I mean,
That
I've seen people do that type of take. I mean, over the
was
head.
sacrifice throw, right? But
It's usually
look at
more
it
like
now.
over the shoulder, not
like
like.
flipped him, his legs were coming up. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, no, Zingano
it's a
took
movie.
Nunez down like that. You
I know,
saw
it's-
that takedown.
right.
So
But
it's like
everything's gonna be a little
cross
slower
clotheslines.
and a little bit different just because it's a movie, so they're not really going live.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're trying to make it look as alive as possible. So I think, yeah, it looks good so far.
Looks good
Okay.
so far.
But it's like probably a little bit dramatized.
Oh, yeah.
That takedown a little bit more dramatized, yeah.
Right. Got it. Jiu-jitsu looks legit, right?
It's
That's
legit
what I
so
know.
far.
Yeah.
He's kind of sideways though.
Here,
So
stop it. I'm gonna tie this back into the very, 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 very first video we did.
Yeah. The anime with boxing?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we were talking about the cornerman.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything to like make him discouraged, but not a single person so far has told him how to get out of there. His coach is yelling, "Get out of there!"
Right.
Sweet, dude, get out of there! Instead of this guy should be telling him, "Get to one side" or whatever.
Right.
protect your
He's
neck.
doing
yeah.
He's not
Okay.
yelling any commands. He's just saying, "Come on, get out of there, get out of there." So that's the
Yeah.
only thing that looks fake.
Usually your coach
It's-
actually will shout
Yeah,
certain
especially
instructions.
at this level,
Right.
And this is kind of trying to mimic like a UFC
Yeah, for sure.
type event. The coach wouldn't be saying that.
Okay. Sweet.
Anyways,
That's
that's
a great point.
You'd probably also shout out like how many seconds.
And maybe
Because if
he
he
will
could
now.
survive,
Right.
you know.
Maybe he will now. We'll see. Let's see.
Okay, but it seems like the cornerman is more dramatic
Yeah.
rather than realistic.
Right. See, now he's doing
Okay.
it. Now he's doing it.
Oh, damn it!
10 seconds.
Don't tap.
Don't tap.
I mean, I guess I would do that too if it was 10 seconds.
Well,
Okay, it's like, yeah, just
And
survive,
he's
right?
kind of off to the side, so it's. And
I don't think I would say don't tap though. I think I would say there's
Survive.
8 seconds left.
yeah.
Then the person probably wouldn't tap anyways. They probably wouldn't.
Right.
The kicks look more real than the punches, but it's a movie.
Double leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual, huh?
We've seen those though. There's so many fights
In a
we've seen.
scramble, anything can happen, I guess.
Yeah,
I
I
But that's
mean-
like not like a legit.
well, I don't know. Maybe
No,
he
there's
works that all
those
the time.
weird scissor takedowns. I've seen them
Okay.
in a jiu-jitsu matches.
Not
I've
like-
seen maybe in one UFC fight. I couldn't say who did it.
But not like a fundamental.
I'd say at this point
definitely
where
not
you
a
were getting
fundamental.
your ass kicked in the first round, that's
Yeah.
not a
That's
takedown
definitely
you should
not a
go to.
fundamental because anything that not everyone can do is
It's not fundamental.
Sure.
Yeah.
That? Did you see that?
Who used to do all those crazy
Do that again.
somersault moves?
Yeah. It's kind of.
No, but even that last Tony Ferguson fight, remember with him and
Yeah,
him?
he was-
They were, there was crazy somersaults and
Okay.
absolutely.
Avocado?
Yeah. No, he's got a...
Kimura.
Yeah.
There's a Kimura.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
got a Kimura.
But he fell back in a weird way.
There you go.
It took a while, but I mean, it looks like he had a good position,
Yeah.
right? But it's like, yeah.
I think it just for that's
yeah,
more
right.
for like the
Right.
drama of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
far, the announcers are realistic because they're just as annoying as like when you're watching a fight.
Okay, so Tom
Back to
Hardy's.
Hardy.
That takedown?
Yeah, if
If
hold
you're
on,
Brock
if the
Lesnar.
guys, yeah, no. Yes, if
And
the
he's
guys,
running forward.
if
Okay.
the guy's that much stronger and that much more superior of a fighter, then yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so
you can
that's
throw him
good
around
with-
like
And
that.
the momentum. Notice how he went with momentum.
Right.
You see guys go out there who
Isn't
are
that an Aikido thing? You go
Yeah,
with.
it's like,
you see guys go out there who are even some guys who are roided out and they throw guys around like that.
Did
Okay.
you ever see Daniel Cormier versus Dan Henderson?
Ragdoll.
Henderson like a ragdoll.
And Henderson's
And Henderson's a
Great
legit,
wrestler, yeah.
great, amazing fighter. And it was just like.
no, so that definitely can happen. If the guy's way more powerful, that's why there's weight class, and that's why you're supposed to not do steroids. But
Can't remember well, but I think the idea is there's no weight class here.
Oh, like true tournaments.
gotcha.
Like the
So it's like the
old true
beginning of
tournament.
the-
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly,
Same.
exactly.
And the
got
guy-
so yeah, that definitely could
Absolutely.
and would
Heavier.
happen. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you weigh 250 and the other person's 100,
Yeah,
that makes more sense. So,
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
realistic.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, 100%.
I think it's Benji Raddick.
That's it.
They would have stopped it hopefully
I
already.
mean, they will stop. Yeah, sure. That takedown.
And
did you see
hopefully
it?
at that level, I don't think he took him down. Didn't he just hit him and jump on top of
No,
him?
I think that was a takedown. That's why I'm. But kind of a weird one. Like, just like.
Oh, clotheslines him.
Okay, clotheslining. That exists, right?
Is that what you saw, a clothesline?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I think he was throwing overhand and it turned into a close line.
Okay. So, a quick question: the way Tom Hardy is depicted here, like this, just because they're all professionals, and he just comes in and destroys them in seconds. Do you think that ever happens?
Yeah, until you run into somebody who's better than you. But yeah, Khabib's a good example. He runs through everyone,
True.
but until he runs into that guy, right? Look at Anderson Silva. He was that guy, and then all of a sudden, now look at him.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the fight, brother versus the baddest guy in the tournament, and I think that's probably where there's a significant weight difference. It's
Yeah.
way bigger. What do you think? Like let's say if there's a big weight of difference.
You don't.
How-
I wouldn't stay and bang.
Is it like survivable? Do you think? Like if you're like two pro fighters, one is significantly heavier. Does that change the odds like
Nowadays, it
dramatically?
definitely changes the odds because everybody's
That
usually
good.
well versed in
Yeah, I
all
was
three
gonna say,
skills.
not if
Back
they're
in the
even
day,
skilled.
Right.
it was like it didn't matter because like
Right.
remember Hoist Gracie was beating a ton of bigger
Sure.
guys,
Yeah.
but the bigger guys didn't.
But none of them
know
knew
the
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu.
Right. Sure.
But nowadays, yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna suck for you because
It makes a big difference, right?
absolutely. That happens.
Is that-
Matt Hughes used to walk people across the ring and take
Yeah?
them down. Yeah, it was
Matt?
brutal. Matt Hughes.
Because the ring is kind of bouncy a little bit, I guess. Is it? Does it hurt a lot when somebody does that to you, or is it just
I
like
think.
uncomfortable?
Well, yeah, for sure.
It's still a
I
floor.
mean, guys get knocked out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like
It's
you
so
hit your
floored. I
head
mean,
backwards.
it's
Not be one of the strategies.
oh.
Oh. Suplex.
Suplex.
Oh. Yeah.
That one would be. I don't know. I guess
Throwing.
Well, he's on steroids and he's a lot bigger than him.
Okay.
Maybe, but I don't know. It'd be hard to throw him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also probably not very practical to throw
No.
out.
So that, yeah,
Okay.
that I'd say the whole movie, that part is
The least realistic.
It's not gonna
Very dramatic, but least. So that type of pep talk, do you think that ever like really goes like into the motivational speech? Like
It depends on the fighter.
it could.
I read this thing about Robert Follis. There was a big article recently that he was saying how it depends on every athlete. So you can't talk to everyone like that.
Right, but
Maybe
sometimes
he
it's
knows
confusing.
he should know him by
Right,
now if he's coaching.
yeah.
But some people you have to talk to like that. Some people you have to talk to.
Okay.
different. So
But
I
this
think,
could be
Yeah.
like.
I think that
Agreed.
kind of pep
I
talk.
mean, that's what's on the line. Like,
Yeah.
remember, like, why are we here?
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah, that
Can
yeah,
do it.
for sure.
There
here's
is a
the thing.
defense where you reach up and you
Yeah,
have
you reach
to,
over though, but you don't usually
and then you
reach
have to
over
put
and
your
reverse
knee.
and stuff.
Yeah, you're not.
Not only, I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but here's why it's unrealistic. Because first of all, they're depicting this guy as being a stronger, bigger guy, and the other dude's been getting his butt kicked the whole fight, and now all of a sudden he has enough energy to pick up the biggest.
Second most unrealistic thing in the movie so far.
And
that was a really badly
yeah, he just jumped up and just space in between. And I mean, yeah.
Can you bounce back from the cage?
Yeah.
It's a weird position.
I've never seen somebody put their hands behind their back like that.
Yeah.
Or a knee bar. But anyway.
Okay. That was a submission, I guess?
Well,
I mean,
the knee bar is, but it was weird that it
how
had his
he was
hands
holding it behind his back.
I think you'd get more, because you can't, it's hard
There's
to
not a
arch
lot of
it
energy
more
there.
without,
Not a lot of
but I've
power.
seen, you can put your
This
arm
hand.
behind your, put the knee, put the foot in your.
It was just weird that he had
But
both
you think
hands.
you get more left, yeah.